Hello, everybody. This is Bear with Friendly Neighborhood Gamer, and we're discussing Palladium book games because both I and Nick have played it, and we don't remember. We're not agreeing upon where Magic went in the game.
I think I played more recently than you.
Palladium book games is Rift because Rift is
Palladium makes Rift.
Yeah, Palladium games or Palladium books, Palladium games is they make Rifts and a bevy of other games. If anybody remembers the TMNT.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, they had a TMNT game. They had
Mech Warrior.
No, it wasn't Mech Warrior.
It was
Mech Warrior.
Mech Warrior. No, Robotech.
It was Robotech. That's it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm going to read out the Wikipedia blurb because I have no clue what they're talking about. But I'm going to try to be a researcher as I go.
Yeah.
But Rifts is a multi-genre role-playing game created by Kevin Simbeta. That's a cool name.
I have a cool story about him.
In August of 1990 and published continuously by Palladium Books. Since then, it takes place in a post-apocalyptic future deriving elements from cyberpunk, science fiction, fantasy, horror, western, mythology, and many other genres. The last paragraph I'll read. Rift serves as a crossover environment for a variety of other Palladium games with different universes collected through rifts on Earth that lead to different spaces, times, and realities that Palladium calls the Rift's Megaverse. Rift describes itself as an advanced role-playing game and not an introduction for those who are new to the concept.
It is definitely not.
You did answer the question.
Well, no, because you guys are going to duke it out by discussion. That's going to be interesting for you to watch.
Okay. Duke it out.
What is the original question though? The original question was
why did Magic come back?
How did this post-apocalyptic scenario come to be? And it was I was still living in Maryland, and they came out with a new Rifts game, and it is just like
it's Savage Worlds.
It's not Savage Worlds. Savage Worlds is something different than what I'm talking about. It's a literal new game, and what it is it's set like directly post Cataclysm. Stuff is still falling down around your ears. You are surviving the cataclysm as it's happening.
I do remember seeing that game. I've never bought it.
I've not played that one either. Have I played that one? We might have done a couple week session of that one.
Because Kevin Simbeta was like, where can I make more money? Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this.
Kevin Simbeta is both he's done some really cool things. Like I actually have a personal note from Kevin Simbeta, because every year they do this thing called Christmas in July, and then they also do like a holiday pack, and the holiday packs are like $50 a piece.
That's a lot of money. Wait. What time period? 90s today?
This was
2000s.
I think they're probably about 70 now. Back when I did it, they were $50 a piece.
Right, gotcha.
And what they would do is they would send you. You could partially define the parameters, but they would send you 3 random RPG books from their collection.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, that's a really good way to. You get 3 books for $70.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I did that. The way that I got the note was I called them and actually arranged my order over the phone with their lady, and because I was playing with a role-playing group. Wow, that's a good roll. That's some fireball damage right there. I was playing with a role-playing group in Maryland, and I had a good job. I was making very good money at the time, so I bought everybody one of those Christmas gifts for Christmas.
Right.
And like Kevin Simbeta actually put a post in the box. He's like, thanks. That was a really cool idea. That's awesome. You're doing this.
That's good. Yeah.
Blah blah blah. But I've also heard like stories where he's like incredibly problematic,
like incredulous or rude. Like both of the same.
Controlling,
like
very controlling about the system and the stuff like that. Like I've read horror stories because I toyed with the idea of writing a source book because they do accept submissions. But when I started researching it, I read horror stories where these people were submitting like source books, and he'd turn them down and be like, yeah, it's not what we're looking for, and then like 6 months later a book that is nearly identical comes out written by Kevin Simbeta.
That's not problematic, that's just theft.
Yeah,
it's kind of fucked up is what it is.
It's quite fucked up.
Yeah, he's very controlling, but like also you have to understand is like Rifts has never been rebooted. There's no second edition.
It's the same. It's
the same game that came out in, I believe, the late 80s.
Is that a
No,
joke?
they have a reboot, but it's a different system now. Because they have the Rift system for, they sold the rights to, I just said it earlier.
Savage?
Yeah.
Savage is an alternate way to play the game, which makes things a bit more simplistic.
Wait, hold on. According to the internet, again, I'm using Google's AI. Actually, I don't want to use Google's AI.
Like, I don't even know if it has any.
Savage
I thought there was like a second edition of Rifts because they had the new book that came out. With
There's not a second edition. There is an ultimate edition of the original player's handbook that is updated to add new
that
information.
is very semantic, but sure.
But they don't. It's updated to add new information. They don't change base information.
Fair enough.
They haven't changed their rule set over the years.
They did change classes, OCCs. They did change.
Some.
Yeah, they updated like the Cyber Knight. They updated certain things.
All right. So Savage Rifts brings the incredibly popular worlds of Palladium Books Rifts to the award-winning Savage World system by Pinnacle Entertainment Group. The gates of the Megaverse bring infinite challenge and adventure to a war-torn world struggling to build its future. The heroes of Tomorrow Legion are called to defend the future. And the last one is, here's what you need to get started. Savage Worlds Adventure Edition, which is called Suede. That's pretty nice. Rifts of Tomorrow's Legion Player's Guide, Rifts Savage Foes of North America, and then Rifts Game Master Handbook. I'm assuming going with what I think Bear was saying. It sounds like Savage Worlds acquired Rifts.
I don't think they
did.
I'm sorry, took over.
No,
I don't think they took over, but they did get the rights and could write. Take essentially the
Savage Worlds makes their money off of being a simpler RPG system.
Okay.
So if you take something that's complicated, and Rifts in and of itself is an incredibly complicated system. And Savage Worlds makes their money of taking those incredibly complicated systems and making it more accessible and easier to a lot of players. Because I mean, I've played Rift since I was 12 years old.
Hey, look at you go!
And I've gotten into games where we're still debating on what this rule means or what that rule means, or no, I thought it was this way. Well, no, I think it's this way. Like it's a very, very complicated rule system.
Right.
But it's incredibly neat in and of the fact that it does blend what you read from the Wikipedia page all together.
Well, that was you mean the first thing I said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Sorry.
Like there's dragons and there's elves and there's 20-foot tall mechs.
So it's HeroScape.
And yeah, basically it's HeroScape. It would not surprise me if Rifts inspired a portion of HeroScape.
Yeah, I mean, I cut my teeth playing Heroes Unlimited Rifts.
Yeah.
All the Palladium games that were early on.
Yeah, like
I didn't play too much Robotech. I did, but
no. Like my aunt taught me how to play D&D. My youngest aunt is 10 years older than I am.
No.
And she taught me how to play D&D when I was like 10 or 11 years old. And I went home after visiting them, my grandparents and my aunts and uncles that summer. I came home and I told my mom I wanted to play more D&D, so we found a comic and game store near me, and this was the late 80s, early 90s, so she'd give me $20 for lunch and take me over and drop
double worship.
Yeah, drop me off at the strip mall.
Right. So you can go play with your friends, yeah.
And I'm just there, friends is a loose word because I was an 11-year-old
people you don't know.
I was an 11-year-old kid playing with 20-somethings. And they're just like,
there's something suspicious about
how do you know this game? I'm like, my aunt taught me.
Yeah, my aunt's pretty badass.
But like the first time I went there, like they said it was D&D, and the games started at this time, and D&D was one of the games. But the D&D game didn't start until like 4 hours later.
Oh wow.
And Mom had already dropped me off, and the comic book guy, the owner of the shop, was like, D&D doesn't start until like 4 o'clock. He's like, they're in there playing Rifts though, if you want to.
It sounds like a drug dealer. Hey, like, no, we don't have any candy for you, but we got some Rifts over here.
And I'm just like this 11-year-old kid. I'm like, I'll try it. And so I had money saved up from my allowance, and I bought a player's handbook. And I went, like, the dude took me back, and they're like, you want to play? I was like, yeah, I don't know much about it, but I'll try.
The guy sounds very suspicious, though.
I'm an 11-year-old kid.
Yeah. No, but the way you're saying the guy's like, hey, you want to?
Well, the owner was like, yeah, buy the book and go back there, kid.
Yeah.
Give me your money.
Like, hey, you want to go into the back room and see what's going on back there with the Rifts? Yeah, give me $20. You can go in, no questions asked.
Yeah, when you frame it that way, it's surprising any of us survived the 80s.
Well, but no, it's not surprising because actually, it kind of is. Ted Bundy was alive for a long while. Y'all. Anyway,
but yeah, so like we played this like one-shot Rifts game where it was just this big arena battle, and like I was a guy in a mech, and there was like one of the NPCs we were fighting against was like a lizard mage, and
that sounds fun.
Yeah, it's like all this weird stuff just thrown into one, and somehow they managed to just create a really, really cool environment to do it in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, question, especially for the two of you. Now that we have a good idea of the background, well, we need more on Bear's background on like Rifts, because you've let us know like how you got into Rifts, and basically you were the coolest kid because you were like, yeah, I'm like 12, but I know fucking Rifts.
Well, I mean, I had a resurgence of the Satanic Panic come after me personally, because I really enjoyed D&D. Right. My family, like my aunt and my dad's side of the family that I learned it from, they lived in Maryland. And at that point, I was living in Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Oh, the South. That's the South. Yeah. Well, so Tennessee is just barely south-ish. It's south adjacent.
Oh no, Tennessee's south.
Yeah, well, no.
You start getting
what I'm trying to say is that Tennessee is south, but it's not like a part of the 13 original. It's not the OG.
You might not consider it like where it is on the map, but the culture-wise, it's the south.
No, I'm saying I'm trying to say the same thing. You guys are just saying in better words. What I'm saying is that Tennessee wasn't like the original 13 colony.
Tennessee's in the south,
but Virginia's in the south too. Because some people don't understand.
Well, technically, Maryland's in the south. The Mason-Dixon line crosses the PA-Maryland border.
It's close.
No, it's literally the Maryland border.
Politically speaking, it's close as well.
Like Maryland is not the south, even though it's technically physically in the south. It is not the south.
I would say anything south of Virginia is the south. Like I would barely even consider Virginia now the south.
Yeah,
actually, no. You know what? To clarify, everything is part of the South in the United States because we're south of Canada, the more sane place.
Anyways,
but no, like I started getting all my friends. I started getting my friends into D&D, and we were going to a comic shop and playing on Sundays. And it was only it ended up being like 4 of us.
Okay.
And we added to this group, and they were real skeptical when just myself and my best friend came in. But they were like, okay, you actually do know how to play.
Okay.
This is kind of cool.
Right.
And I started bringing more friends around and teaching them how to play, and the DMs and the other players really thought it was neat that these young kids were getting into the game. But again, Chattanooga, Tennessee, buckle of the Bible Belt.
Yep.
And some parents like saw the players' handbooks at my friends, the old school D&D second edition players' handbooks and some of the art in there, and they're like, that looks like devil worship.
There's a titty. There's a titty in this book.
Yeah. And they went and they found like newspaper articles. Now, keep in mind, this was impressive because this was the early 90s.
Okay.
They had to go to the library and search through microfiche to find these newspaper articles that said D&D was satanic.
Yep.
And then they came to my mom and are like, your son is getting our children into satanic things. And my mom's like, well, his aunt taught him how to play the game, and that side of the family is pretty heavily Catholic.
Yeah.
So I doubt it.
Right.
But I'll talk to him.
No. So you had to have the talk.
So she pulled me aside. She's like, hey, I mean, my mom's always been very real. She didn't sugarcoat a lot of stuff, so on and so forth. She always talked to me, even as a kid, she always talked to me like an adult. She's like, okay, so here's what's going on. Some of the parents of your friends that you've taught to play D&D are very concerned that this is devil worship. She was like, I'd like you to explain this to me. So I went and I got my
You rolled your eyes back in the back of your head.
Yeah. Kalima, Shukti. So I went and I got my player's handbook, and I took my mother through character creation, and like we didn't play it, but like I took her through one of the scenarios in the book and showed her how to roll everything and explain spells and attacks, and explained back then we still had THAC0. I explained THAC0 to her, and she's watching this entire thing. It probably took about an hour and a half of us going together. She looks at me, she's like, this isn't devil worship at all. As a matter of fact, this is an amazing game.
Hey!
She was like this.
She joined your party?
She's like, she didn't join the party. She didn't join the party. She didn't go that far. She was like, this promotes teamwork. This promotes outside of the box thinking.
Math.
She was like, this THAC0 thing, that's algebra. She's like, you're learning math. She was like, you and your friends play as much of this game as you want. I will handle the parents.
Thank you. Thank you. And again, it's the satanic, any type of panic, not just the satanic panics, like the trans panic, all kinds of panics. They're so freaking short-sighted. Yeah. I don't mean to get on my political soapbox, so I'm not going to say anything further. But I will say that yes, I like your mom. Wow. That's a sentence. Sorry.
I'll introduce you next time she goes down.
Respectfully.
Hey, Jamie, this black man said he really likes you.
Respectfully. I was going to say.
Respectfully, ma'am. I really like you.
Okay, you made it worse.
Have you ever known to make something better?
You know what, you're right. All right. So what about your backstory? You just showed up to the board game store and was like, sure, I'll do that.
First day I was there, they're like, here's the book, teach us how to play it. And I taught them.
Really? No. I thought you were serious for a second.
I grew up a Jehovah's Witness, so I have a similar situation with the hatred of anything role-playing because the devil said it's bad. I think the devil did.
Jehovah said.
Jehovah did say that.
Yahweh. I'm sorry.
No, we weren't Yahweh, Jehovah.
Yeah, well, no, Jehovah's supposed to be the appropriate spelling of the...
I have done similar research. It is one or the other. Anyways, so I had a friend named Kyle. I went down to his house. He lived like literally down the alley from me, and he had a group of friends that were playing, and I joined in their game, and I was playing. I think the first game I started playing with Palladium was Heroes Unlimited.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, it's like Marvel. It's essentially Marvel.
Yeah, I was going to try to clarify. Sorry, I was saying that Jehovah's Witnesses believe was the original. I wasn't trying to say matter of factly that was the original. I just want to clarify that so people don't like jump at me in the comments. Leave me alone. Religion's silly, but if you believe in it, live your life. Huh?
Yeah. I'm just looking at the crickets that are in the comments right now.
No, I'm talking about the YouTube channel. YouTube comments. You're going to become famous. Stop. There's going to be a lot of people watching this. All right, sorry. But okay, you're talking about the hero thing?
Heroes Unlimited, which is like I would say...
Create your own superheroes. You want to adventure in Marvel and DC, that's generic Marvel and DC.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. So it's kind of like...
and here comes part of the cool thing about...
DC Universe, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But here comes part of the cool thing about the Palladium Megaverse, is that it all uses the same rule set. So if you go to a Rifts campaign, but you want to play a superhero, you just talk to the GM, and he can move your superhero into the Rifts world.
Oh, and you came through Heroes Unlimited.
I started Heroes Unlimited. Then we were kids.
And like you said, it was transferable.
Yeah, it's all transferable because all of their games.
It sounds like it was about the same time that Nick got into it because
probably
I was like probably 8 or 9. Like it was pretty young. And I quickly transitioned to where I was running the games because nobody wants to run games, and I've been a lifetime GM ever since. But yeah, we played Rifts. We played that. I got shipped off to my dad's house, and I was looking for another group, and I couldn't find one. So then my dad drove me to this warehouse with a bunch of weird men in it, and we ended up playing Call of Cthulhu with a bunch of weird men that I was like, I don't know who these people. I remember I found the game online, and this is back with like.
What do you do for fun? I play weird games with grown-ups.
Yeah,
in warehouses.
Yeah, it was in a warehouse. Yeah, and so I found this game on dial-up, and my dad was like, "I'll take you if you want to go." And so my dad said to this fucking. Like they're already in a scenario and they just give us these throwaway characters so we can go and play. I remember I played a football player, like a high school football player. That was they're like in Call of Cthulhu. Everybody's scared of everything because you can die quickly. It's a similar system to Rifts.
Yeah,
it's a D100 system, same as Rifts.
But it's also a slow descent into madness.
Right, and it has a very skill heavy, same as Rifts. So it wasn't a hard transition. But yeah, they used me as like a cannon fodder. They were like, "Oh, make the kid go through the door." Yeah, so like they were going through a building, and I just would charge the door and tackle through the door. And then if there was a bad guy in there, they're like, "Oh, well, he's a football player. He'll be fine."
Oh, that makes sense. That's actually thematic.
Yeah. So I remember we did that a couple times. I played Magic a lot, but mostly my role playing experience was with Palladium. Our friend group got together, and then we got pulled apart, and because I had the biggest house and where everybody would come and meet, the books were left at my house when the group got split. And I still have.
You started collecting books?
I had all the books, and I did buy half those books. They were somebody else's books, and they all got left at my house.
There are a massive amount of Palladium books.
I think they're up to like 40 with the World Books.
That's just in the Rifts. You've also got like 4 or 5 different books for Heroes Unlimited. And
Heroes Unlimited did get rebooted. It has multiple editions of that.
It did get rebooted, but like it was like a soft reboot. Like they didn't change the rule sets; they just incorporated other things.
Mm-hmm. I feel like every Palladium book has the same fucking list of skills.
It does, absolutely.
And they just copy and pasted them, and it's like, here's 10 pages that we've copy and pasted from the previous
every single book.
They've all got the same skills. The only thing that happens is like this book might have a couple more skills because it's a newer book.
Ooh.
Or
this
it's a different
laser weapons.
Yeah, or if it's like a different section of the universe, like you'll find some skills in Heroes Unlimited that you won't find in Rifts.
Right.
You know, so on. And same thing with like Palladium Fantasy.
There was like spies and spies and
ninjas and super spies.
Yeah,
that was a fun one too.
Where it was like James Bond or ninja. Like it was
like you could play a James Bond allegory or some ancient master from a monastery, and like it's just there's no reason for these people to be fighting, but they're fighting.
So again, my bent on all this is Heroescape. That's the only like intro. Oh, nice. Look at that altars.
Yeah. Well, that's the purpose of Rifts, because Rifts is the hub of the megaverse, and because of the catastrophe that happened and magic comes back to the world, ley lines become more evident. They literally look like big blue walls of energy across the land. They crisscross the globe, and whenever you have these ley lines cross, they create a nexus.
Ley lines, because that was the original question. Where do they come from?
They are rivers of magical energy that have always been there.
And hold on, before we continue, the reason I'm asking for people who are watching, because there was a disagreement earlier about what brought them about, but Nick is going to explain what they are.
Okay. So they were rivers of magical energy that's always been there. There's even like you can go online and look up ley lines. There's a whole bunch of just regular lore in them about in the real world.
Gotcha.
But from what I remember from Rifts, they were always sort of there. The pathways were always sort of there, but there was some sort of dimensional tear, and magic like flooded back into the world, and it empowered these ley lines, and all of a sudden like they shot up from the earth. And they're these big blue walls of energy, like you can traverse through them, but they're just like there's just big glowing blue lines through the land,
like kind of like the Northern Lights situation?
Except on the ground.
Right. So okay.
Yeah. So it's
on the ground that go like 20 feet in the air.
Yeah, easily, if not higher.
Okay. It's like it's legitimately a river of mana.
Yeah.
Essentially.
And when two or more cross, they call that a ley line nexus. And technically, a rift can happen anywhere along a ley line, but they happen more commonly at the nexuses. And the rifts are literally just a tear between dimensions.
Okay, that makes sense.
And that dimension, when a tear in dimensions can happen, is random. You could have an advanced alien species flying space shuttles through, or you could have dinosaurs walking through. Like, it doesn't matter. And that's how they can bring everything together. Like, if you want to play your superhero, your superhero was in a battle on that world, and he gets punched, and all of a sudden he accidentally goes through a rift, and now he's in Rift's Earth. It's the same way they've got another game called Beyond the Supernatural,
which is their take on Call of Cthulhu, essentially.
Which is their take on Call of Cthulhu, but it's also very sort of almost supernatural TV show-esque.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, like you could be like driving or just fighting some sort of supernatural threat, and something you do causes a tear in reality, and your little paranormal hunters get tossed into Rift's Earth, or tossed into Ninjas and Super Spies, or tossed into Heroes Unlimited.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
You can go into any of these other game systems they have, because they all use the same system.
They all use the same system. So, which...
From a marketing viewpoint, it would have been easier just to make one book and then sell smaller books, but no.
But
every book had the full entire rule set in it.
Yes.
Copy and pasted from all the other books.
So it's so messy. It's so messy.
With a few details for combat changes in each one, because this one focuses on vehicles or mechs or ninjas or whatever, so they all have slightly different rules.
Yeah. And those rules are very vague. They're specific and vague at the same time. You're just like, how do we apply this?
Right. And just to kind of bring up this part, because I think I asked this question earlier, but HeroScape versus Rifts. One of I found a thread post from December 1st, 2006.
Wow,
where somebody said
on tablets, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just on tablets. But somebody said the original question is like, hey, is HeroScape like the board game version of Rifts? It's like this war gamey looking thing I found called HeroScape, and like it's just Rifts. And then people are saying, I've never played Rifts, so I can't comment on the relation, but you should really buy HeroScape. For $40, you get 20 pre-painted minis. Anyway, I just thought that was cool.
I guess they are minis, but they're big minis.
They're pretty. They're figures.
I mean, and to be honest, yeah. Like again, I would not be surprised. Oops.
Ooh, he has an alarm. I'm telling.
Hey,
sorry.
I work weird hours.
Hi, weird hours. I'm Orange.
Yeah.
Sorry. But okay. The core question, though. The core question.
Yeah.
Where did the rifts come from? So in the lore, the discussion was before we hit record. The discussion between Bear and Nick was that the rifts came from a fight or a battle, World War III. The rifts came from somewhere else. The rift came from there. So I'm going to Google and try to see if I can find the answer too. But from you guys' recollection,
you want to go first? Or you want me to?
Go ahead.
So I remember reading that it was World War III, and there's a main rule in Rifts that when you kill someone or when someone dies, the magic energy, they call it PPE, potential psychic energy, doubles at the point of death. And so when World War III happened and they just started dropping nukes on people, so much of this magic energy came out that the ambient magic was kind of like restarted, and it kicked it off, which caused rifts to open up, storms to happen, stuff like that, which killed more people, which made more magic come out, and it was like this vicious cycle, and they called it the cataclysm. And then there was like, I think, what is their timeline? It's like something after the cataclysm.
Also
it's several hundred, like rift,
but they have like an actual
rifts is like, yeah.
Where it's not AD, it's like something else, and it's like after the cataclysm. I think it's AC,
something like that. AC.
Also, your beard stroking is pretty loud in the mic.
Oh, sorry about that.
So yeah, that was after the Dark Ages or whatever.
Fidgets in there.
After the Dark Ages, essentially, once everything had the water in the tank had calmed down, and it was no longer making a this negative feedback loop. And that was what I understood it to be.
And the thing about it is we can both be remembering correctly, just remembering
different
specific parts. Because one of the things that I always remember is there is a specific facility in Rifts called Lone Star. And Lone Star, oddly enough, is based in Texas.
It's almost like it's Area 51 or something.
Almost. And it's very much like a facility where they did secret experiments, and the theory was that they were doing some experiments down there with like dimensional energy and so on and so forth, and it tore the fabric and allowed an onrush of PPE into or mana into the world that started the cataclysm. But like he said, there's PPE, which is your mana, and then there's also ISP, which is internal strength points. And that is for, because you have your magic users and your psychics. So magic users use PPE. If you choose a psychic class, your PPE gets transitioned into ISP. And that stuff doubles upon death. and releases into the wild unless you have one of the races around that feeds off of PPE.
Okay.
So like what we're saying both could be true. Like the cataclysm triggered from the experiment gone wrong in Lone Star, and it started killing people, and maybe there was a war on at the time, I don't remember, but people started dying and feeding more PPE into the world, and it just kept spiraling.
Okay. So I can kind of read what I have here. Is you guys let me know once you presented your cases.
I mean, that's our case, right?
I've only partially been listening, so I well, it's because like I'm trying to multitask with reading and listening, so I'm picking up like words.
So what I'm hearing is you're a bad listener.
No. It's just difficult to do this without writing notes at the same time.
Fuck you, Bear. That's what I'm hearing.
No.
Fuck you, Bear.
This is supposed to be family friendly here. Oh wait, you didn't put it on the back either. You gotta put it on
They're in the box.
They're in the back.
They're there.
All right. Okay. So so you two have presented your cases. So summarization of what Bear was saying.
World War III.
He says World War III and mass release of PPE via death.
Okay.
I'm saying initially it was kicked off by a experiment gone wrong in a laboratory.
Okay, got it. All right, so Wikipedia, according to Wikipedia, I'm just looking for the word cataclysm because Wikipedia is talking about every different location and where it's coming from. So I was going to read the Earth section and start there. Rifts begins with two future historical premises. First, a golden age of humanity occurs with tremendous advances in science, technology, military, and society. Humanity as a whole is at peace, and a majority of Earth's nations decide to cease world war and begin to share ideas and technology freely. Much of the solar system is conquered, of course. Humanity's wars will end, and harmony will reign. The second premise is that the Gold Age is followed by an unknown cause near the winter solstice in a rare planetary alignment, causing a disaster that cascades into tremendous destruction via a ripple effect. And the next parts, I'll read the next two paragraphs here. The cataclysm begins with unprecedented storms of all kinds, earthquakes and tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, including the Yellowstone caldera. Caldera, thank you. What is already a huge release of mystical energy is multiplied as a result of several special conditions. A rare multiplanetary alignment, occurrence during the winter solstice, and all at midnight. The special occurrences were a rare multiplanetary alignment, occurrences during the winter solstice, and all at midnight. The deaths of millions
Midnight happens at different times on the planet. It's not midnight everywhere.
It's Wikipedia, dude.
No, it's not Wikipedia. It's Rift's writers. The deaths of millions at this time amplifies that already high psychic energies, triggering many powerful natural disasters across the world, including the return of Atlantis. I'll read this last part too. The energy released from the deaths of millions, more in turn releases even more mystical energy, causing more disasters in the vicious cycle. Ultimately, the total destruction brings an unprecedented energy release of billions. Ley line networks that crisscross the globe are energized as never before, causing rifts to open both on Earth and through the megaverse. Untold numbers of aliens numbers of alien beings are pulled from their homeworlds, while great powers of the megaverse are alerted of a new and valuable planet to conquer. I'm going to stop reading there. It just kind of keeps going with the same information. So it sounds like some unknown thing happened along with the alignment of the winter solstice, multiplanetary alignment, and it being midnight.
I'm about to look this up when I get home because it's going to bother me now. Because I remember they were like ramping up for World War III because they were doing like the Mom Project in South America. They were doing the Juicer projects. They had just done the Glitter Ball. Like World War III was happening. That's why they have all these cool machines and stuff going on that are still there.
I think I think that was part of the golden age. Like they were ramping up for war, and then everybody sort of realized we're going to wipe everybody out. Like everybody's going to wipe each other out.
Right.
But yeah, like there was that unknown catalyst, and one of the quote unquote like conspiracy theories within the lore is that unknown catalyst happened in Lone Star, because of an experiment.
So Palladium books. Oh god, I got to verify I'm a human. 1 second.
Yeah.
All right, I'm verified as a human.
Well,
so
at least hold on.
Okay.
You just sent me something last night where their data was getting scraped by AI. Mm-hmm. So you can't grudgingly say, I got to verify my human, and then also be like, the site lets them data mine their information for AI.
That's fair. Well, but it's also anyway. Okay, so here's a forum post. Here's a forum post from somebody on how did the cataclysm/apocalypse go down. There's a forum post on
random people on the internet.
No, this is a forum post on Palladium books. I feel like this is
they have a huge forum on there.
I know,
yeah.
But
this is from 2013. This
Kevin Sabita might there. Just pop in and be like, hey, what's up?
I can check, but this person's called Hot Rod. That's his name. He's a knight.
He sounds like a reliable source of information.
No, he's asking the question.
Oh.
He says, I have some pressing questions.
I must know. I don't.
I have some pressing questions about the nature of events of the coming of the Rifts. Alas, my personal Rifts library is incomplete, and there are so many references scattered across the books that I'm sure I missed plenty. I'm looking for canon-supported answers, and blah, blah, blah. So his questions are, what specific events or events triggered the coming of the Rifts? Second question is, what global events what global events and effects did this event unleash? Were they all directly attributed to the coming of the Rifts, or could there have been other causes for them? And then there's like 3 more questions. I'm not going to read those. And he says, the canon I've collected so far, fact, the coming of the Rifts started on the 22nd of December, 2098. Fact, Atlantis reappeared. I don't understand why that sounds like a dumb one. And then we have some legends. The end of human civilization came without warning. And then another legend and rumor that he got is all the world's ley lines erupted at the same time, causing destruction across the world. Another one is icy darkness covered the world for at least a decade. And the last one that he has is legend, before I get to try to start scouring for answers, is 80% of civilization was wiped out in a single day. So his theory is that something caused the ley lines to surge and explode with energy. His speculation is that the deaths of billions of people fueled the ley lines and caused them to overload with mystic energy, creating bigger disasters. Okay, all right. So you guys can discuss and chew on those things while I try to see if I can find somebody who answered it.
I mean, I feel like we beat the horse dead here at this point. Yeah. But I really like I have a fond place in my heart for Rifts.
I do too.
I feel like it's a great world.
It's a great world.
The system sucks.
The system kind of sucks. It's very convoluted.
Yes.
It's a great world. I have very, very fond memories of it. I think it should be said that the world of Rifts in and of itself is kind of a very light sort of Warhammer 40k in and of the fact that there's no real good guy.
Everybody, the coalition states are the best people in the world, and they're all for humanity.
Yeah. That's
sure, we don't want to teach our people to read or write.
Read or write or like anything other than humans.
They're very, Nazi-ish.
Yeah. We don't want them using magic or psychic powers or... Yeah,
that wasn't Make America Great Again should be their slogan. They want to go back to magic.
Any human civilization, modern human civilization, where the leader's title begins with emperor, is always very, very positive.
Now, I do have to say the New German Republic, NGR, are pretty good. They are siding with the CS because they're human, but that's about the end of it.
They're also weapons makers, and the CS is buying a lot of them.
Yeah, the Triax.
Okay, so I found some people who seem to be kind of having a consensus here. I haven't seen it as like, I'm the writer, this is how it happened. So I'm still scrolling. But in March 16, 2013, so the other one was from March 13th, I think, 2013. So just 3 days later, assuming that I got my math right on the first one.
3 days.
The first two, somebody else also said the same things, so I'm just reading the second person who said it because they seem to be in agreement. With the first question of what specific events caused the rifts, and the second question of what global events and effects did this unleash? The answers are, again, almost identical response. After decades of tension, two South American countries started a nuclear war at the worst possible moment, a celestial alignment. Some say the equinox, but I can't remember if that was the term used or not. People died by the millions. At that moment of death, PPE doubles. At the moment of death from somebody, PPE doubles, like you guys were talking about before, and millions died at the same time. Under celestial alignments, PPE is magnified. Oh, okay. The result was a ley line storm. The first the Earth has seen since Atlantis sank. The storm grew and grew as people died, and the death spread. And that death spread the storms. I can't trust
anything this guy says because he said Atlantis sank and Atlantis didn't sink.
It didn't.
Well, no. So in this world, it was assumed that Atlantis sank because one of the things it didn't. No. I'm saying in this world.
No, I was like it didn't.
In that world, it did not sink.
It literally got in a bubble and taken away somewhere else.
Yeah.
So that person's completely wrong.
Dimensionally shifted.
Okay.
Oh, so actually,
I'm gonna keep reading what this person said in 2013.
They're wrong.
But still, okay. Let me at least finish the paragraph here. Right. The storm grew and people died, and that death spread the storms and awoke more and more long dormant ley lines. Magic levels finally reached a point that Atlantis returned from the void it was lost in. So he clarified. He says in his part, Atlantis sank. Since Atlantis sank.
Here's why you're wrong.
Well, it's in the same response, though. That's what I'm trying to say. Magic levels finally reached a point to where Atlantis returned from the void it was lost in. That's another story.
So what you're saying is he is so inconsistent that he contradicts himself in his own response.
No. What I'm saying is that sentence alone, reading just the context, magic levels finally reached a point to where Atlantis returned from the void it was lost in. Now, granted, and he says in parentheses, that's another story. As in, there's more things to it, but he's oversimplifying.
There's a lot around Atlantis.
I think they have like 2 or 3 world books by itself, just for that.
Atlantis? It's 2.
Split Markets, Atlantis.
This is the last sentence. Displacing huge amounts of water and causing tidal waves all over the world. More people died, more ley lines, and the storm spread. You get the picture. So that's what that person said. And like I said, the other person said something very similar, at least in the start, the first 2 sentences that I read, because I didn't read all of it until just now. Well, first of all, this is all lore to me. I don't know.
Does this sound interesting to you?
I like the idea of world building, and I like the world that's being built here.
The thing about it is the world building and the shifting of the world building is spread across the 50 books that encompass Rifts and all of its world books. So it's
I'm not going to read 50 books.
You're digging through all of them more.
Because they did it for me.
No, they did not. They legitimately break down there's South America 1, South America 2. There's Africa. Right. It breaks down the world in that way. So if you want to run a game in Japan, you can go buy the Japan book. Well, or Japan, there's 2 Japan books.
So just
Mystic Japan and
just to get more clarification, and Nick and Bear can think what they want to me, but for people listening, the other comment that said virtually the same thing, virtually similar things is what I should say, is that most of the answers that the original poster asks can be answered by buying a copy of Chaos Earth. So going into what you were saying.
That is Chaos. Chaos Earth is the, hey, you are a human surviving the cataclysm.
Right. and it's happening. So
it's happening
you gotta,
right now.
Right. So that goes a long way to say that's consistent with what Bear and Nick were both saying. Yeah. So all I'm saying is that while you guys have doubts about this person because it's like, oh, you got Atlantis wrong. It's like, first of all, from what he said in that second sentence, what was that guy's name? Glitter Boy. No, I lied. Not Glitter Boy. That was a different person. Glitter Boy was the first person. The second person was Riftmaker.
Fuck you, Riftmaker.
If Riftmaker ever finds this video because of the SOE, it's gonna be so hilarious.
Come out, catch me outside.
Sorry, SEO, search engine optimization.
He's gonna find your house.
Nope.
Because your IP address. come at me at Blue Bear Studios. I'll be outside.
But what I'm saying is that
I'm a tall black man.
The internet lore seems to be consistent with death. Of nuclear
there
bombs
was
dropped. There was a lot of
death.
death.
Yeah.
There's a lot of death.
And then PPE, because you guys both mentioned this, PPE started causing more rift lines, and then boom, we're just like all fucked.
They leave, at least from what I remember from the Lord, they leave how the cataclysm started in and of itself, unless, because I never played Chaos Earth, unless they've defined it further. They left it very open, and there was conspiracy theory in world.
Jesus.
And that's where the Lone Star thing comes from, because I really like doing the adventures in Lone Star. There's some weird stuff there.
The main faction in America is called the Coalition of States.
Yep, I saw that. I saw it on the wiki.
So it's like these survivors of humanity that have found military bases with bunkers full of like gear and stuff, and they've made their own little states, and then they've made a coalition amongst them. And then they've recently, like within the lore, like raised somebody to emperor, and I think they're on like their second or third generation of
Emperor Joseph Prosek.
Yeah. And
Sorry, I thought I said Posobiec. I was like, ew. No.
And their seat of power is Chicago.
Hey, check out Chicago. Shout out to you, Pritzker. Sorry. JP Pritzker is the governor.
Yeah, he's been real busy in the news lately.
Hell yeah, and he's been doing it. He's been doing the thing that. Sorry, I don't want to get political here. But going back to the main points though. I like the idea of world building. This is why I'm super interested in the Shadowrun world building. I'm trying to listen through the Shadowrun books. I say trying to. I'm still in the first book of don't make a deal with dragons or something like that.
Just listen to Dungeon Crawl. It's better.
I mean, well, I'm doing both.
It's got better world building.
I can do both. You're world building. Also,
I
to be
am
fair,
world building.
Dungeon Crawler Carl is very recent world building though.
Yeah.
Relative to Shadowrun.
You want to get into world building.
Always count your ammo and never make a deal with dragons.
Yeah. What is that the motto?
That's like a Street Samurai's motto.
Gotcha.
In Shadowrun.
So I haven't gotten far enough because I think I'm at the part where we're just learning about the people he's getting in line with. So I'm not very far in the first book is what I'm saying. But I know the first book is titled Don't Make a Deal with Dragons or something like that. And I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but I'm going to read it. Listen to it.
If you are really interested in world building, you can bite off more than you can chew with Brandon Sanderson.
No, I'm already doing Dungeon Crawler Carl.
That man, again, will make a timeline that is thousands of years long, and all of his Cosmere books are connected, and he drops you in the middle. Doesn't explain in the beginning or where it's going, and then dribbles in information. He is such a master of dropping in information, and he tells you something that you think is real, that people believe is real, and then you find out that it's a tradition and they've been doing it for no reason. And his world building is so great. I'm reading the Stormlight archives where there's these giant storms that are rolling over the planet that are essentially just mana storms, and people have to build their houses so they don't get destroyed in these storms when they come. And they have to put the crystals outside to collect the stormlight.
No spoilers though, but yeah,
this is all just basic world knowledge that no spoilers at all.
Well, here, and it's vaguely on topic, but I do want to bring it up because this never really got any love
for riffs.
It's just for world building in general.
Okay.
There is a game, and I don't think you can buy the book anymore, but I think you can find a digital copy online for free. The game is a tabletop game called The Inspectors.
Okay, The Inspectors.
Yes.
It's a D&D system, or
it is a collaborative role-playing game. It's almost like collaborative world building. There's some stats, there's some stuff, but it's all very light. Like when you bought the book when it was still published, the book was like that. Yep, that's it. The book was like that thick.
So inspectors, like Ghost.
Yes, and what you do is you have one person that is, I don't want to call him the GM or the DM. He's just sort of like the director, and he make sure everybody is sort of following the rules and so on and so forth. But it's a collaborative storytelling game, and the premise is you and your friends that are sitting around the table are starting a detective agency, And it could be a supernatural detective agency. It could be, you're investigating the supernatural. You're investigating aliens. You're investigating something, one of those things that we look at as crackpot ideas. And you roll for like the facts and stuff that like you find out, and the stats are like a collaborative pool of stats that the detective agency shares. And like if you roll, where it comes into like cool stuff is like if you rolling dictates a lot of what the GM presents to you as facts for the case that you're investigating.
Right.
But if you roll, it's either a 6 or like a 5 or a 6 on the 6-sided die. The player that rolled that 5 or a 6 gets to make up a random fact.
Oh, okay.
That
so world building, storytelling.
It is pertaining. So like if you're investigating aliens and you're getting close and something like that, and they roll a 6, that person can make up a fact, and they're like, and cats are actually aliens.
Ooh.
And from then on, that is fact in the game.
Right.
And it's a really, really fun, interesting game to do for like one-shots.
Yep.
And stuff like that. You just got a few hours to kill, or like you're between campaigns and you're waiting on a GM to write something up, but you still want to meet on whatever day you normally play. Just you break out the inspectors for a day and play it for a few hours. It's just a really, really interesting, fun game that you can get a whole lot of laughs out of.
Okay. So again, collaborative storytelling, and this is a good alternative for those who are looking for. One, they have to find it.
Yeah.
But two, it lets them kind of do like world building with what the book says plus their own.
Yes.
Like add your own twist to it. And when you say is world building focused, does that mean that like, hey, I don't have characters with like strength stats? Is it kind of like
the stats are based in your detective agency. So like at the beginning of the game, when you're deciding like what detective agency you're doing, you've got your stats, and it's less of stats and more like dice pools. And you assign, okay, I have this dice, so they're going to put this dice in this dice pool. It's been a while since I've played it, so I can't remember what the dice pools are.
Right.
I'm going to put this many dice in this dice pool, this many dice in this dice pool, this many dice here.
Right.
And that's collective stats. So like when you're out investigating and you need to roll something, this needs to come out of this dice pool, and
okay, I know we're getting long in the tooth on this particular discussion topic, but I was going to say there's a board game called Vantage, which I had on the table when you guys came in because I just got done playing it.
I was reading the back of it. It looked interesting.
I think it would be cool to do like a playthrough at some point, but basically it's kind of collective storytelling. I mean, there's rules and parameters and stuff with it. Long story short, I wonder if there's games that are coming out. Well, okay, let me not say I wonder if. I know there are games coming out that are taking these systems from like, Rifts and stuff like that, things that might be lost in Spectres, and basically bringing it to their own board game and kind of hitting pay dirt with like a great system.
Microscope, the system we were talking about earlier.
Okay.
Same concept, except for it's not a role-playing game. It's more of just a collaborative storytelling, and you're building a timeline, and then you go around the table and you choose something to focus on, like a microscope would focus on something, and you build on it. And you're building this out with like cards on the table, like note cards. I have the book at home, and then I also have the digital format of it. It's a solid system, and I'm too much of a control freak to do this
because it's too much.
It's a group storytelling.
It's yes-anding. It's ad-libbing.
Essentially, yeah. But they're like, it's people, like a lot of the times the player group I was doing on Monday nights would make silly stuff up. But I'm like, I'm trying to do a serious game, and you're like, and cats are aliens.
And cats fart rainbows.
Yeah, like something silly. I'm like, oh, fuck me. Or it's just like, I have an idea where I want a story to go. Or the one time we did it, I don't think anybody's in here from that group. The GM, like,
they might watch the video. Wait,
fuck it, sorry. We did the whole thing, and then I think we all agreed that person did not use a single thing from our microscope session. It was like, where did this microscope session add to what you're doing? The two did not combine together.
Right.
So. I know that my friend Emil, who we've had on the show a couple times, has used it successfully, But I am too much of a control freak where if I have a story to tell, I don't want to have to add in some random silly feature.
See, I can't take credit for this. I feel like somebody else has told you this, but I feel like your version of a collective storytelling is you writing a book.
I am writing my own book and my own role-playing game.
I feel like your part, Turnip has told you that. I feel like
Turnip has told me a lot of things. But that's not always true, because I have run a certain campaign, which we're in the works of trying to run again, that I have made great changes to, where players have run something, and I'm like, I really like the way that you added to this world. I want to, the next time I run this scenario, I would like to have that character or this thing in.
Right.
Unfortunately, they're greedy and won't let me steal their idea.
Well,
I'm almost kind of the opposite a little bit when it comes to that, like a collaborative storytelling game, like in Inspectors and stuff like that. I like that, and I like the randomness of it when the players get to make their own fact, whether it be silly or whatnot. Because when I play a TTRPG, I'm of the mind that even with a normal TTRPG, whether you're playing D&D or something like that, there is a level of cooperation that you need to go with the DM.
no. So to clarify, any TTRPG that wants to be successful, in my humble opinion, the DM has to, at some point, let go of a little bit of control, let the players kind of build their own thing, because their characters are impacting the world.
That is true, but at the same time, it's like, if you get your players together and like, okay, you meet at the tavern, what do you do? And instantly the sorcerer and the paladin are at odds and so on. It's like, no, you're here to play the game. You're here to be in an adventuring group. Let's not, play the characters, role play the characters so much that you're already squabbling
and fighting,
and stuff like that. I turned all of you off.
I totally hate inter-party conflict, and I never put it in any of my games.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the only thing you put in your games. wait, hold on.
I'm waiting to see if Goats pops up and be like, fuck you.
Nick, I'm gonna let you finish, but like Bear, I would like to say there was inter-party conflict in the game that we played.
I don't know what you're talking about.
As a bard, I was like, I don't want to. I just let me die, and they're like, no, we're going to resurrect them. And
but did I do that? No.
But
I just didn't step in and stop them.
There was inter-party conflict, and I didn't get to play my bard was level 1, and it became a Death Knight.
But like, what I'm saying is in a TTRPG there is a how do I put this? There's a sort of a
verbal contract.
Yeah, it's a verbal contract, like a social contract where you're going along with what the DM has planned, because you're in for this adventure, and yes, you get to affect the world, and yes, you get to have inter-party conflict, and so on and so forth. But you're still going on this adventure, and it gets to be.
Sorry.
And I have a ton of fun doing that, but when you get to do a one-shot where you break the mold and be like, oh, by the way, all Chihuahuas are demons, and that is now fact.
See,
in your
there are games for that.
Yeah,
Inspectors is one of them.
Right.
Like that's why I love that game.
That's like a fun. Like I just ordered. Last week I had Emil on the show, and he was showcasing his new game. I ordered it. It's on the way. 3 raccoons in a trench coat.
Yeah.
And that is essentially just chaos, where animals are inside a trench coat fighting over who gets to control them.
That's kind of like everybody's John.
Yeah.
So you played it before, right?
I've not played it, but I've read the rules.
I saw that. I regret not ordering that mini.
Which one?
I'd have to find the. I'm a fan of them on Facebook. I'd have to find which one it is again. But it's a mini little like 3D printing mini thing, and they have a mini that is literally 3 kobolds in a trench coat.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I like that.
Well, before we wrap this up, I have a cool. I remember you said that you had a cool story from Kevin Sabita. I have a cool one as well.
Okay.
As a young child, I would say probably before 10, went on the worldwide internet and figured out what his phone number was.
What? You just looked him up and found him in the directory?
I found his wife's name. I was like, I knew he lived in, I think, Chicago or whatever. Like he lived
Detroit, I think.
Yeah, he lived. I figured out where he was from. and I figured out. I saw somebody in the phone book that had the same last name, and it's not a pretty common last name.
Right.
And I think in the foreword of one of his books, it was like, to my wife, that whatever that
So-and-so.
name was, and I was like, this is his fucking house.
Right.
So I called him and was like, I have some questions for you about the rules. I left a message on his voice on his answer machine. He called me back.
He called you back?
He called me back.
He
was
talked
like,
to you, or he said,
talked
"Don't call
to
me ever again"?
No, he was nice. He was like, he did say at the end, like, hey, this is my personal number. I know that you didn't call me on it anymore.
Right.
But he did answer my questions. I don't remember what my questions were, and I was a stupid kid, so they probably weren't great. But he did answer he did call me back and answer my questions.
I'm pretty sure he remembers. That. So just like a random kid calling
I
him.
would say so, probably.
But I had like pieced together his fucking phone number and his address.
He's like, oh my god, that was fucking you. Fuck you. you ruined my night. We're about to have sex.
Kid.
I mean, I don't know what time. I don't remember any of the details, like what time of day it was or any of that. But I just remember that I fucking Sherlock Holmes that shit and figured and called him.
Basically, you rolled a natural 20 on your
investigation skill.
Investigation skill.
Yeah. And so hats off to him for calling me back. I appreciate it. It's a cool story.
It was also very formative for you too. I'm assuming that.
I don't remember anything about what he told me at this point. Like I didn't have my notebook out and take notes. I just was like, this motherfucker called me back.
Holy crap.
Figured I was a Jesus thumper, so I was like, praise the Lord, this man called me.
Thank you, Jehovah. No. All right. So your story.
I already told my story. My story was I got the cool handwritten note from him.
I don't remember the story being told.
When I bought
you were not being a good host. You were doing
so
something.
they do these Christmas grab bags.
Oh, okay. I got
And
it.
like you
So,
get
okay.
like 3 books and some other swag and stuff like that. And back
Yeah.
then it was like $50. I bought them all for my role playing group.
Right.
And like granted, I spent like $250.
Correct. He's like, hey, thank you for the money.
Yeah. And so
They were going through a hard time at some point.
yeah.
So he probably was like, we can eat again, children.
But like,
So it's that bear to call
St.
back.
Nick bought 6 books.
I mean, I've spent a decent amount of money with other like small companies before, and I never had an owner handwrite me a note.
Correct.
So I thought that was really cool. And like my roommate's girlfriend at the time, like I was like, oh man, this is really cool. And she went out and she got like a little shadow box and framed
she
it for
framed it?
me.
Aw.
Yeah.
You still have it?
Yeah, I do.
Oh,
it's in my room. I think I'll have to find it for you. I think it's right there with my pictures of Johnson Island.
See, I don't have any cool. My closest cool stories I posted on Board Game Geek forum, and the designer said that's a cool idea.
I mean, the AI knows who you are.
Oh my god, I don't want to talk about the AI.
I mean, but
Right,
still, like getting
right.
somebody to comment back is really cool too.
It
You
is.
know.
Well, in Board Game Geek, a lot of the designers are very active on their forums, mostly
Mm-hmm.
because commercial publicity and all that stuff. You don't want shit to get out of hand. However, my whole thing is like I was kind of giving a critique. I turned my critique of this is a game that I'm only going to play digitally into a hey, let's make this a fun thing. Do you 100% disagree or agree that this should be a random, or sorry, that experience is more valuable than randomness? It transformed into that because one of my points was like, if you have experience, you can just kind of click through it, and playing digitally makes the experience a lot easier to get. So whereas playing physically, specifically the board game Revive, here I am just telling the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the game physically, you can see it, but
Short
it's also
story long. I'm going to tell the whole story.
Well, no. I'm just trying to give context. People might want to find
yeah.
it. And yeah, I felt pretty good about the designers, multiple, coming out and saying, hey, this is a cool little interesting topic. And I was like, thanks. I was trying to make sure it wasn't besmirching a game that I actually enjoy. Anyway.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys having this conversation with me.
Mm-hmm.
A little side episode that we get to just throw out about Palladium books.
Palladium.
I look forward to hearing from you guys again. And as always, keep rolling those dice.
Is that going to be the... You keep saying it with a question mark.
Because I'm looking for confirmation. You
I'm going to
can
give you no confirmation.
we're going back to fuck you.
Until then, in just a satchel of riches.
To clarify,
As Blue always says, fuck you, Bear.
Bear printed that himself. I just want to clarify. Okay.
No, you gave me a gift, and then you put that on it.
No, you told that. Wow.
Because I lost the last one, apparently.
Okay, all right. Okay, your official, actual outro.
Keep rolling those dice.
All right. Okay, our mics are back live, but we're done.
I'm turning my mic off.
All right, so thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed it, and yeah, go drink some water and or go to bed. It's 10 p.m. This is past your bedtime.
You know where your children are.
They couldn't hear you.